It is the most hated platform on the internet. Creators rage against the algorithm, viewers complain about the ads. And yet for 20 years, no one, not Facebook, not TikTok, not the world's largest tech companies, has been able to beat it. YouTube is the cockroach of the internet. It refuses to die. But that metaphor isn't quite right. Cockroaches survive by hiding. YouTube survives by building walls so high that even giants can't climb them. Today we are going to look at who tried to tear those walls down. We will look at the ones who failed spectacularly, the few who came close, and finally understand the structural reasons why YouTube will remain unbeatable for the foreseeable future. Let us begin in the graveyard. The first mistake competitors make is thinking YouTube is a technology problem. It is not. It never was. In the mid-2000s, there was MetaCafe. Perhaps you remember it. They tried to beat YouTube by being exclusive. Only professional content. No user-generated junk. The logic seemed sound. Quality over quantity. But they misunderstood the soul of the internet. People don't come to video platforms for polish. They come for authenticity, for niche interests, for the feeling that they found something that wasn't made for everyone else. MetaCafe starved because they said no to the very thing that made YouTube grow: chaos. Then came Dailymotion. For a while, it was the second largest video site in the world. But they made a fatal error. They stayed regional. They never committed to global scale. When YouTube was translating captions into every language and building server farms in remote corners of the world, Dailymotion was still figuring out copyright in France. Scale is a moat. If you aren't everywhere, you are nowhere. And then, of course, there was Google Video. Yes, Google itself tried to compete with YouTube before they bought it. Google Video was technically superior. Better search, cleaner interface, but they treated video like a file to be indexed, not a community to be nurtured. There were no comments, no channels, no subscriptions. It was a library, not a living room. YouTube let people talk to each other. Google Video let people watch in silence. The market chose the living room. These failures share a common thread. They all thought the battle was about technology or content quality. It was not. It was about ecosystem. But there are two stories that are more interesting. Two platforms that almost broke through. The first is Vimeo. Vimeo took the opposite approach of MetaCafe. They didn't reject the chaos. They simply built a walled garden for a specific type of creator: filmmakers, artists, musicians. The quality on Vimeo was, and still is, stunning. For a moment, it looked like they had found a sustainable niche. High-end creators, brand-safe content, a professional community. But almost is not actually. Vimeo's ceiling was their floor. By catering to professionals, they excluded the teenager in their bedroom, the mom reviewing baby products, the guy fixing lawnmowers in his garage. That teenager grows up. That mom builds an audience. That lawnmower guy becomes a millionaire. Vimeo never captured the bottom of the funnel, and without the bottom, the top eventually erodes. The second, and far more serious threat, is TikTok. TikTok did something no one had done before. They changed the format. Vertical video, infinite scroll, algorithm-first discovery. For the first time in a decade, YouTube looked old. And TikTok grew faster than any platform in history. They stole attention. They stole creators. They made YouTube panic, hence YouTube Shorts. But here is why TikTok only almost made it, and why almost is starting to look like a peak. TikTok optimized for addiction, not for depth. The average TikTok video is consumed in seconds and forgotten in minutes. YouTube optimized for investment. When you subscribe to a YouTuber, you are investing in a relationship. You watch a 20-minute video, you learn something, you feel something, you remember who told you that thing. TikTok is a stage. YouTube is a library, a classroom, and a campfire rolled into one. When you need to fix your sink, you don't go to TikTok. When you want to understand geopolitics, you don't go to TikTok. When you want to feel less alone late at night, watching someone who thinks like you go to YouTube. TikTok captured the scroll, YouTube captured the search, and search is permanent. So what are the actual walls that make YouTube unbeatable? First, the creator economy moat. YouTube has paid out over $50 billion to creators. That is not just money, it is dependency. There are people who have built entire careers, staffed offices, raised families on this platform. That creates an inertia that no competitor can match. A creator with 10 million subscribers on YouTube does not wake up one day and decide to move to a new platform. Their audience is here, their archives are here, their life's work is here.
Second, the search moat. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, owned by the largest search engine in the world. Every how-to query, every tutorial, every deep dive, Google serves YouTube first. This is not an accident. It is a structural advantage that antitrust regulators are only beginning to glance at. If you want to be found, you have to be on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, you get found. It is a self-perpetuating loop. Third, the length moat. TikTok and Instagram Reels trained a generation on short-form video. But short-form attention spans eventually crave depth. YouTube owns the long-form space completely. There is no competitor for a 45-minute documentary, a 2-hour podcast, or a 3-hour video essay. Once a viewer invests that much time in a creator, the switching cost becomes psychological. You don't just switch platforms, you abandon a relationship. Fourth, the infrastructure moat. YouTube processes hundreds of hours of video uploaded every minute. The storage, the transcoding, the delivery. This costs billions. Very few companies on Earth can afford this infrastructure. Amazon has it, Microsoft has it, Google has it. Almost nobody else. Even if a competitor built a better interface, they would bankrupt themselves trying to store the world's video. So, will anyone ever beat YouTube? Not in the category YouTube has defined for itself. The category is not video sharing. The category is human archive. YouTube has become the default repository for moving images of our time. It is where we store our knowledge, our entertainment, our history. The only way to beat YouTube is to make video itself obsolete. And that is a problem for another century. For now, the walls stand. The moats are deep. The creators are locked in. And the algorithm, as frustrating as it is, knows you better than you know yourself. YouTube is not unbeatable because it is perfect. It is unbeatable because it became the default before anyone understood what default meant. And in the attention economy, being first is nice. But being the place where everyone stays, that is everything.